Most men are failing in modern dating, but it isn't because they aren't trying hard enough. In fact, most guys are trying way too hard. They pour endless energy into chasing, texting, pleasing, and accommodating, only to end up stuck in the friend zone, constantly ghosted, or caught in exhausting emotional cycles. The fundamental issue is that they are operating with effort instead of strategy. They believe that being perpetually available, agreeing with everything, and showering a woman with endless devotion is the key to her heart. In reality, that behavior comes off as needy, predictable, and desperate. When you don't have a clear framework for how human nature works, you become entirely reactive. You let her moods, her text response times, and her sudden shifts in energy dictate your emotional state for the entire day. To win in today's dating landscape, you have to transition from a man who reacts to a man who leads. Leadership in a relationship isn't about being bossy, controlling, or aggressive. It's about being grounded, intentional, and clear about your standards. Most men mistake devotion for desperation. They think that putting a woman on a high pedestal before she has even earned a place in their life is a sign of respect. It isn't. It's a sign that you don't value your own time, energy, and presence. Today, we are breaking down the 7 predictable behavioral patterns that show up in modern dating so you can finally stop guessing, stop overanalyzing every single interaction, and start moving with absolute confidence. Let's get one thing straight right out of the gate. This is not about bashing women, nor is it about adopting cheap, toxic tricks to play mind games. Guys who rely on manipulative tactics are just hiding their insecurity behind a temporary mask, and that always crumbles eventually. True value isn't a mask you wear, it's a standard you live by. This breakdown is about understanding human psychology, behavioral incentives, and the subtle dynamics that actually drive attraction and respect. When you truly grasp how human nature operates, you no longer feel the urge to manipulate or trick anyone. You simply set high standards for how you treat yourself and how you expect others to treat you, and you move through the world like a man who knows his worth. Mastering these 7 patterns gives you complete authority over your own emotional landscape. Right now, when a woman pulls back, delays a reply, or drops a passive-aggressive comment, your gut instinct is probably to panic. You over-explain, you send long paragraphs, or you frantically scramble to fix a problem that didn't even exist in the first place. Once you understand these core dynamics, that chaos completely disappears. You stop treating routine behavioral shifts as major emergencies. Instead of spiraling out of control, you stand firm, hold a calm boundary, and allow the moment to settle without losing your cool. You stop begging for validation or asking for permission to be respected because your steady presence speaks for itself. Here is the exact roadmap for what we are tackling today. First, we are dissecting the validation economy. Why handing out free, unearned compliments instantly tank your value, and how to make your praise carries actual weight. Second, we are diving deep into the attention trap, exposing how over-delivering your time smothers attraction, and how to calibrate your focus so your presence is felt and valued. Third, we will unpack why predictability kills the spark, and how maintaining your own drive and personal mystery keeps the relationship dynamic alive. From there, we are going to cut off the supply line to unnecessary drama. You will learn why rewarding emotional outbursts only breeds more chaos, and how to starve toxic patterns without ever raising your voice. Fifth, we are covering emotional tests, what they actually mean, why women use them subconsciously to check your strength, and how to pass them effortlessly without getting defensive or argumentative. Sixth, We will flip the scarcity switch so you can properly price your time, protect your schedule, and command natural respect. Finally, we are wrapping up with frame control, the ultimate secret weapon that proves why an unshakable, calm posture will always outperform emotional noise every single time. If you are tired of running in circles, guessing what went wrong, and settling for dynamic where you constantly feel like you are chasing, this video is your blueprint. It's time to stop sleepwalking through your dating life and step into real clarity. If you're ready for the full upgrade, hit that subscribe button right now. Share this video with a brother who needs to hear the truth. Grab your notebook and let's jump straight into principle number 1. Make praise rare. If your praise is everywhere, it means absolutely nothing. Most men throw out cheap validation like flyers on a busy street corner, completely unaware of how much damage they are doing to their own dynamic. They shower a woman with constant, unearned good morning texts, leave heart eyes on every single selfie she posts, and throw out endless compliments before she has even put in an ounce of effort or investment. To you, doing this feels polite, supportive, and romantic. You think you are showing her how much you care, but to her subconscious mind, you are completely destroying attraction. Attention and approval function exactly like a currency. Basic economics applies here. When the supply of a currency explodes, its value instantly hyperinflates and crashes to zero. If your praise is given away freely without any baseline condition, it loses all its weight and she stops placing any value on it. When you make your validation earned rather than automatic, your words suddenly carry massive weight and authority. You must remember a core rule of human behavior. You get more of whatever you reward. If you only praise her physical looks, her outfits, or her surface beauty, you are simply raising a performer who craves the stage and constantly looks for an audience to feed her ego. But when you reward her effort, her loyalty, her thoughtfulness, and her character, you invite her to step into being a real, genuine partner. You need to completely swap out cheap, generic flattery for targeted, specific appreciation. Instead of saying, "You look so hot," compliment her choices, her taste, and her actions, things she actually controls, rather than just her luck and genetics. Praise the way she handled a tough situation, or acknowledge the effort she put into organizing a date. Keep your approval curated, deliberate, and directly proportional to her investment in you. Stop treating her social media posts like your full-time job. Flooding her comment section with emojis and instant double taps doesn't bring her closer to you. It just teaches her that your attention lives online and is available to her 24/7 without her having to pick up the phone or see you in person. You are not here to be her digital cheerleader. Real intimacy, real attraction, and true respect are built offline in the real world through present moment interactions. Keep your center grounded in reality, make your compliments rare and deeply meaningful, and watch how quickly she begins to value your approval when she realizes it actually has to be earned. Stop feeding it. Attention is the oxygen of attraction. Give just the right amount, and the flame burns strong and bright. Hand out too much too fast, and you smother the fire until it dies out completely. The attention trap is where average men fail every single day. The second a woman posts a subtle story, pulls back her energy, drops a vague complaint, or goes quiet, the average guy panics and rushes in to fix it. He double texts, asks if everything is okay, and smothers her with frantic concern. You think you are demonstrating high interest and care, but what you are actually doing is teaching her a dangerous lesson. Minimal effort on her end earns maximum focus and effort from you. You are literally paying top dollar for low value behavior. Your time and focus are high value assets, and you need to start treating them as such. If you are replying to messages within 3 seconds at all hours of the day and night, you are broadcasting loud and clear that you have nothing important, meaningful, or driving going on in your life. You look like a man with zero mission. Instead of being anchored to your notifications, build dedicated focus windows for your work, your training, and your life. When you do reply, do so with clear intent and direction. Use text messaging as a tool to set up real-world plans and move things forward, not as an endless digital pacifier to exchange mundane, boring small talk all day. When she throws out passive-aggressive bait, acts cold, or tries to drop subtle hints to spike your jealousy, do not take the bait. The worst thing you can do is get defensive, demand explanations, or start chasing her for reassurance. Stay grounded, ignore the noise, and remain completely unbothered. Let silence do the teaching for you. If she brings warm energy, effort, and respect, give her your full high-quality presence and appreciation. If she brings games, stonewalling, or drama, step back, focus on your own life, and cut off the supply of your attention. When you align your focus strictly with high-quality behavior, her best self has a reason to show up. And if it doesn't, you save your precious time. Keep mystery comfort is nice for long-term stability, but raw chemistry and dynamic spark are built on tension, curiosity, and excitement. When a woman can script your entire life down to the exact minute, the same generic text every morning at 7 a.m., the exact same Friday night routine, the same safe responses, and the same passive whatever you want to do answers the underlying energy completely flattens out. Human attraction thrives on a tiny bit of tension and anticipation. It needs that subtle what's coming next element that keeps her naturally leaning into the connection. Do not fall into the trap of confusing healthy consistency with mind-numbing repetition. Consistency is about your core character, your morals, and your boundaries. It means your standards never wobble regardless of the situation. Repetition, on the other hand, means your day-to-day behavior is completely static, boring, and predictable. Keep your strong character, but break up the static routines. Shift your pacing, vary your dates, and try new experiences together. Stop oversharing every single detail of your past, your fears, and your life goals on date one. Let your life unfold in chapters over time as trust and investment build. True mystery isn't about being shady, hiding things, or playing toxic mind games. It is simply the natural byproduct of being a man who leads a deeply fulfilling, active, and driven life. When your calendar is genuinely packed with intense training blocks, career goals, personal projects, and solid friendships, you won't need to fake being busy. You will be busy. Your attention will naturally ebb and flow because you have a mission that demands your energy. Live with purpose, pursue your ambitions fiercely, and let her step into a dynamic, moving life rather than expecting her to fill a vacant, empty schedule. Cut off supply. Where you place your attention, behavior grows. This is a fundamental law of human dynamics that most men completely ignore until their relationship is burning down around them. If a woman learns that throwing a tantrum, giving you the cold shoulder, dropping accusations, or starting a sudden fight is the guaranteed trigger that unlocks your undivided focus, she will keep doing it over and over again. When a flare-up happens, the average guy panics and rushes in with paragraphs of explanations, endless phone calls, frantic apologies, and late-night negotiations. To you, you think you are putting out the fire and trying to restore peace. But to the dynamic, You are giving a massive front row reward to chaotic behavior. You are accidentally conditioning the relationship to rely on emotional storms just to feel connected, teaching her that harmony gets ignored while chaos gets your full, unfiltered energy. You must starve the drama at its absolute root. The moment emotional spikes, irrational accusations, or artificial arguments appear, your immediate move is to lower your accessibility. Never match frantic, chaotic energy with anger, shouting, or defensive posturing. Adding your fire to her storm only creates an explosion. And under no circumstances should you get dragged into a messy text battle at 1 a.m. when everyone is exhausted and logic has left the room. Instead, step into a calm, firm posture. State clearly and directly that you value open, honest, and respectful communication, but you will not engage in screaming matches or text wars. Give her a clear, realistic window to connect when tempers have cooled, such as the next evening over a calm phone call or in person, and then step completely away. Focus on your work, your sleep, your workout, and your life. When you refuse to feed the spectacle, the emotional storm loses its fuel. When she returns with maturity, clarity, and a genuine willingness to talk like a partner, that is when you instantly reward her with your full warmth, active listening, and undivided presence. That direct contrast teaches faster and deeper than any lecture or argument ever could. It establishes a quiet, unshakable standard in your relationship. Maturity and respect unlock your best energy, while dramatic games and toxic outbursts get met with total disengagement. Remember this rule for as long as you live: what you tolerate will continue, and what you starve will inevitably die out. Lead, don't react. An emotional test is not an attack on your character, nor is it a sign that she hates you. It is a subconscious check to see if you are genuinely as solid and grounded as you claim to be. Women do not want a man whose emotional state can be blown over by a mild breeze or a sharp comment. When she throws a curveball, tests your boundaries, or questions your intentions, she is asking a simple underlying question. Are you standard driven, or are you just performing for my approval? Weak, insecure men react to these moments by panicking. They get defensive, start over-explaining themselves to the point of exhaustion, get bitter and sarcastic, or instantly bend their own rules just to keep the peace. Every time you panic, you signal that her temporary mood entirely controls your reality and destroys your inner calm. When a test shows up, your superpower is to slow the moment down, stay completely grounded, and lead the interaction instead of reacting to it. If she drops a passive-aggressive comment like, "You probably have 5 other girls you're talking to," do not deliver a desperate 10-minute speech begging her to believe you. That defensive posture only makes you look guilty and weak. Simply handle it with a calm, unbothered posture. I'm here for something real, not games. If you want clear answers, I'm happy to talk. Short, grounded, and clear. You didn't dodge the topic, but you refuse to step onto a chaotic stage to defend your integrity. If she cancels a date last minute with a vague excuse, do not throw a bitter temper tantrum or desperately scramble to offer 3 alternative days to fit her schedule. That trains flakiness and shows zero self-respect. Keep your response neutral, calm, and firm. No worries at all. Let's pick a time down the road when your schedule is clear. Then immediately pivot back to your own life and plans without holding a grudge or brooding in silence. A real leader never stands in an arena arguing for his own worth, begging to be respected, or trying to win an emotional debate. He demonstrates his high value simply by remaining unshakable, holding his standards, and moving with steady purpose no matter what noise comes his way. Price your time. Your time is the primary price tag on your presence. When your time is dirt cheap, completely unstructured, and handed out to anyone who asks, people will naturally treat it like a free sample. They will browse, waste it, and wander off without a second thought. But when your time is structured, valuable, selectively given, and actually earned, people prepare for it, respect it, and show up at their best. Most men make the exact same mistake. They make themselves endlessly available at a second's notice. They answer late night calls when they need to sleep for work, drop their own goals the moment a text comes in, and treat casual, low investment interactions as if they are top priority life events. It feels generous to you, but it signals low self-worth to everyone else. You need to flip the scarcity switch and start protecting your calendar with quiet authority. Build your schedule around your primary purpose, your career, your physical health, your personal growth, and your foundational relationships first. You are not ignoring anyone or acting fake busy. You are simply honoring the structure of a high-value life that anyone else would be fortunate to step into. When you do give your time to a woman, give her your 100% focused presence, put the phone away, listen deeply, and make the experience high quality. But keep the baseline access to your schedule selective. Use text messaging as a quick tool to organize logistics and make firm, clear plans, saving your depth and real conversation for face-to-face moments. If someone approaches you with flaky behavior, last-minute demands, or low-effort breadcrumbs, do not react with anger or an aggressive confrontation. Simply match that energy with polite, calm distance. Use clean, direct language that sets the bar. I'm locked into work during the day, but let's connect after 7 p.m. Or I set my schedule early in the week, so let me know what day you can lock in for sure. That approach communicates a full life, high self-respect, and clear leadership without a single drop of drama. The quiet standard is always infinitely stronger than a loud argument. Your time is premium. Your yes means something real, and your presence is a privilege, reserved exclusively for those who respect it. Calm beats chaos. Your frame is the psychological lens through which you view the world, and it dictates the unshakable groundedness you maintain in every single interaction. In any relationship dynamic, whoever holds the stronger, more stable frame will ultimately set the overall tone, pace, and climate. When a woman's energy becomes chaotic, emotional, sharp, or testing, your unbothered composure serves as the massive gravitational pull that brings the entire interaction back down to solid ground. Holding a strong frame isn't about being controlling, bossy, or dominating her. It's about taking complete ownership of yourself and controlling the standard of the environment you allow around you. You are not trying to dictate her feelings, but you are declaring through your posture exactly what kind of behavior you will tolerate in your presence. To hold a frame of true, calm authority, you must start from the inside out and master your physical responses. When tension rises or emotional bait is thrown into the room, average men instantly react. Their blood pressure spikes, their voices get higher and faster, their shoulders tense up, and they get sucked into an exhausting verbal debate. The high-value man does the exact opposite. He slows everything down. You drop your shoulders, slow down your speech by a notch, loosen your physical tension, and look at the situation with calm, steady eyes. Presence speaks infinitely louder than protest. Moving slowly and breathing deeply signals to her subconscious mind that you are entirely unthreatened by the emotional noise. You are the rock in the ocean. Waves can crash against you all day long, but the rock doesn't budge. If she crosses a line, disrespects you, or attempts to pull you into a messy text fight or screaming match, you enforce your boundaries without a single drop of loud frustration. You don't need to scream, name call, curse, or score petty points to prove your power. Loud anger actually exposes deep insecurity and a complete loss of self-control. Instead, you deliver your boundary with a relaxed demeanor, a firm voice, and a clear standard. We speak to each other with respect, or we don't speak right now. If the disrespectful behavior continues, you simply remove your presence and step away from the conversation until calm is restored. Your calm no, backed by genuine willingness to walk away from chaos, teaches far faster than 100 angry speeches. Calm strength is the ultimate sign of authority, and it will beat loud, chaotic noise every single time. Conclusion. At the end of the day, mastering these core dating dynamics isn't about manipulating people, playing toxic mind games, or trying to exert power over someone else. It is about total self-mastery. It is about becoming a man who respects his own time, honors his own boundaries, and lives with a deep sense of purpose. When you take control of your validation economy, protect your attention like a valuable asset, keep your dynamic alive with genuine mystery, starve unnecessary drama at the root, pass emotional tests with unbothered ease, price your time correctly, and hold an unwavering calm frame, you transform into a man of genuine substance. You cease to be a passive bystander praying for someone's approval, and you become the grounded, steady anchor that creates a safe, clear, and deeply exciting space for a high-quality partner to step into. Transformation doesn't happen overnight, but it starts with a single conscious choice to stop accepting low standards from yourself and others. Start applying these principles today. Don't wait for the perfect time. Look at your life right now. Pick just one area where you have been giving away easy leverage or compromising your self-respect. Correct your course immediately and start building from there. Focus intensely on your personal growth. Build a life that you are genuinely proud of. Hold your boundary lines with quiet confidence and keep leading yourself and your relationships with absolute purpose.